Of some 5,000 children who are wards of the state, less than 20% are in foster care. The Child Development Agency (CDA) recently revealed that there are only 900 wards of the state living with some 800 foster families. Cecil Perrin became a foster parent 3 years ago.
My cousin who had him first, she passed away, and he ended up at a government institution. When I went and saw him then, I was moved by the way that I see him, and I decided to take him over with me.
Mr. Perrin says it took a year to sort through the paperwork before the child was entrusted to his care, but he was resolute to provide a family environment for his new son. Statistics show that Jamaicans aren't tripping over each other to become foster parents, and Cecil Perrin argues that there are several theories to explain why more Jamaicans aren't fostering more wards of the state.
Fostering a child is a child of the state, and sometimes people said, well, boy, it is not my biological child, so therefore I have to have a limited amount of way of bringing that child that way. But I would say, if you love that child, you would try to grow that child in the best way, that how you would even grow your child.
Another reason he puts forward is the fact that some foster parents often complain about the inadequate support provided by the state.
The little that the government do for one who have a child or fostering a child, it is very little. I think they could do much, much better, because children who are in the government institution get a better help than those who are in a foster parent, single parent home.
The state provides a monthly stipend of $4,000 to assist foster parents. However, Mr. Perrin says many foster parents he knows can hardly cope with some medical and school expenses.
I have often hear parents who foster children say that they expect, or they were looking for even a better help from the government. One of the parent that I listen to, fostering a child, and that child grow up and have a mental problem, a serious problem, and that child have to go to counseling like 2 or 3 times per week, and it is $2,500 per session. So it is really costly.
Despite the many challenges, the foster father says it's a decision he does not regret. Many foster parents sometimes decide to take it one step further and adopt. However, in Anna's case, it was a bit different, as she and her husband, before they got married, had already made the decision to adopt, whether they had children of their own.
We have an adopted child, right? And the process took about 2 years. And although that child was given up from birth, we didn't get that child until almost 7 months old, 1 week shy of 7 months old. And we really wondered, why did it have to take so long? Because if they know that the child was free, why not give us a child, early, even a month or so after, and then they go through their due process? That's something that we question. Why is it that it took so long when we were prepared for this child? So in other words, we didn't know about the existence of the child until the child was almost 7 months old. Right, but we're just saying, what is it that happened? During that time, the child was in a children's home. Why did the child have to be in a children's home for all that time when the child could have already been with a family that was going to adopt him or her?
Just like fostering, not many Jamaicans are keen on adopting a ward of the state.
We know that some people see it as almost like a stigma, not to be able to have your own children, especially like in this culture, not to be able to have your own children. So everybody wants their own child, and then it's some people see it as a risk, right? Because you're not sure what might be coming into the child's genes, and we're talking about characteristics, for example, from the child's parents. You cannot guarantee, but the truth is that you cannot guarantee either with your own child what's coming.
Another contentious issue for parents who adopt is that the word adopted is boldly stated on the birth certificate when the process is complete.
I do not feel that it is necessary, right? I don't agree that there should be a different certificate because it creates an unnecessary distinction between that child and biological children within a family, a distinction that we never wanted, right? We feel that once children are in a home together and they belong to these two parents, they are our children, full stop. Not, we have, well, these are ours and then this other one. Yes, we do not think that should happen.
The parents say there are even instances where children are treated differently in school because they were adopted.
We have known of situations where children have been given different attention and focus because of their status, So their problems seem to be more highlighted and blamed on the fact that they are adopted. So there's some amount of discrimination sometimes, and prejudice, if you want to put it that way, wrong judgment. I'm saying that we have known of situations, not with our child, but situations from teachers, I'm talking about, from teachers, where all of a sudden when they realize that they're adopted, I don't know, it's something different. And so they almost feel like they can treat this child differently. And we're talking about in a negative way too, right? Because it's not the biological children of this, of these parents. It's almost as if they expect like a second-class treatment for that child.